Welcome to our study. This hour, our focus is on proteins. This is Teacher Hilary. Protein is a compound of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. No wonder they are normally called nitrogenous compounds. It is because of nitrogen in it. Sometimes it could also be having other elements such as phosphorus, sulfur, and iron. Proteins are built from amino acids. So in other words, building blocks of proteins are the amino acids. So amino acids combine through a process of condensation to form proteins. When two amino acids combine, they form a molecule known as dipeptide molecule. And a bond that unites the two is called peptide bond. So several amino acids put together through the process of condensation forms a polypeptide chain. Remember, poly means many. A polypeptide chain. So there are 20 known amino acids, 20 naturally occurring amino acids that are synthesized by plants, 20 in number. In animals' bodies, around 11 of them are synthesized, while 9 can never be synthesized in animals' bodies from those amino acids. They are never synthesized. So such amino acids need to be supplied through food in the diet. So in that, we have two categories of amino acids, can categorize into two: essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids. Non-essential are those amino acids that can be synthesized in the body, are non-essential. Obviously, that thing that you have, you don't have need of it. It is within you, so you do not actually require it because you have it. So we call them non-essential, since the body can make them, since the body have them. So we call them non-essential. But those which cannot be synthesized in the body are referred to as essential. They are of great importance. They are needed. So therefore, if the body needs those amino acids, and the body cannot synthesize, so therefore they are called essential. So they have to come through food, through diet. So we categorize into two: essential and non-essential amino acids. So essential amino acids are not synthesized in the body, and they have to be supplied through the diet. Fine. That one I sang, then the better. Fine. We have animal proteins and plant proteins. Animal proteins is believed to be first-class proteins, and plant proteins, second-class proteins. First-class proteins, because animal proteins is believed to be having all the essential amino acids, and plant proteins believed to some are missing one or two or more of the amino acids. Let us consider properties of proteins. Proteins can dissolve in water. They form suspension, colloidal suspension. When they dissolve in water, they somehow see a layer floating on top of the water. So they dissolve, yes, but they form colloidal suspension. Proteins are sensitive to changes in temperature. say that high temperature above the optimum will denature the proteins, and low temperature equally changes the structure of the protein. So proteins are very sensitive to temperatures. Another one is that proteins are amphoteric. What is the understanding of the word amphoteric? It means it has both basic and acidic properties, in that proteins can react with both acids and bases, and in so doing they are able to form what we call conjugated proteins. The conjugated proteins is a protein with an non-protein component. I'll give you two examples of conjugated proteins. Hemoglobin and mucus. Hemoglobin is a protein with iron. Mucus is a protein with a carbohydrate. So hemoglobin is very important in transportation of gases, carbon dioxide and oxygen. Mucus also very important because in digestion of food it has enzymes. It also moistens the food. So the conjugated proteins are also important in the body. But the only way that they could be formed is because of the nature, that property of proteins being amphoteric, being able to react with both acids and bases. Let's finalize by looking at the functions of proteins. Proteins are very important. They form part of body structures. Our nails, our hairs, body tissues made up of proteins. In the process of working, our bodies undergo wear and tear, and proteins come in to replace worn out tissues. Proteins are also metabolic regulators. They regulate how our bodies work, like processes in the body, such as respiration. So proteins regulate. How does it regulate? Through enzymes and hormones. Enzymes and hormones are proteins in nature. And during extreme starvation, the body can break down proteins to provide energy. Remember, the body does not use proteins under normal circumstances in provision of energy. Carbohydrates are normally used. And in absence of carbohydrates, the body will resort to the stored fats, and glycogen is stored in the body. But under extreme starvation is when we do not have carbohydrates, there are no fats. Then the only option become proteins. So proteins will be broken down to supply energy under extreme starvation. So to summarize, is that learn that proteins are compound of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Its building blocks are amino acids. There are 20 known amino acids. They are categorized into essential and non-essential. They are very important in the body. So thank you for listening, and until next time, goodbye.